All right. Um, Good evening. Um, Happy new week. Happy new
More
month.
music on
Happy new year. Welcome
trendybeats.com.
to 2023, everyone. I'm excited, and I know that you are too. I'm not showing it because I've overeaten and I feel heavy. But then it's amazing to be in another year. I say congratulations. Welcome. This is David Unana. Welcome to the channel again. Remember, it is dedicated to helping myself and every other person who finds this content interesting solve the money problem once and for all. The idea is that I know it's possible to be at a place financially where spending money is your problem and not even getting money in the first place. That's why I do this. I want you to know that I'm noticing changes in your life, uh, and I know that you are too if you are engaging all of these things we are doing. Funny enough, somebody embarrassed me some times ago. He watched my videos and question was, I should get out, use the F word on me. How much do I have? Who am I? I'll be talking. Now I felt bad, but then I just brushed it aside. You know, this is a generation that insists you must have proofs and results before you can talk, but it's not always true. It's not always true. A kingmaker is not a king. You cannot insist that only a king will talk to you. There are people called kingmakers whose words will push you beyond places they themselves have reached physically. They would have already been there in their minds and in their spirit, but then physically they may not be there. That's why it's dangerous to judge people physically. In fact, for Christians, they say we do not live by sight, but we live by faith. So initially, I was thinking that no, this guy is true. I should just keep quiet and go and get money. But later I thought of it like, nah, you know what, bros, to hell with you, sir. Sorry, I no go mind if you get out. The reason is because I may make, for instance, 1,000 naira, and you might make 1,000,000 naira, and I'm more excited at the 1,000 naira I made because I know how I made it. It's coming from a process where principles were engaged, and no matter how little the results are, if they are as a direct you know effect of the principles you engage, it's exciting. And no matter how much you make, if it doesn't come by the outworking of a principle, that excitement wouldn't be there. So I thought of it deeply, and I'm like, you know what, this guy, to hell, you're not going to discourage me. In fact, I later stumbled on something that strengthened me. They said Bishop David Oyedepo was preaching prosperity when he was still in one bush. Who again? Benny Hinn was teaching healing long before. You see, the thing is, these things you speak them ahead of you before you enter into it. I'm going this long route to say that it is possible to be on this earth and your problem is what to do with money, not how to make it in the first place. So I just want to say Happy New Year. You're welcome to the channel. Of course, the year is blank, it's loaded. I remember the last video for that year I dropped was bordering on the fact that we need to improve, we need to be deliberate and focused on improvement, and that we shouldn't catch ourselves in the positions where there's not much within your control. It's dangerous. Life pulls up surprises at us a lot, but what you want to do is to have something doing in you. And what I meant by that was you need to be productive. Your hands need to be productive. I looked at my life. I switched off my phone for a couple of days ago, just looking at everything. You go for programs, people prophesy, you talk, and it's almost as if what they are saying is not coming to pass. When I was working in Lagos, I was attending the Covenant Nation, and Pastor Kojo Yemade, I think it was beginning of 2020, and he was saying that Christians shouldn't be irresponsible. If a pastor tells you this is your year of whatever, if by December 31st nothing happened, you should do general church meeting and invite the pastor again, sir. You said this was going to happen, it didn't happen. And when you were saying this was going to happen, you didn't give me any condition. So my point is, I was just looking at all of these things that how much that see prophecies hanging. And the only thing I can take away from it is, bro, you need to be productive. You see, the blessings of God, they need to land on something. They need an established channel of expression. I'll say that again. Breakthroughs, blessings, open doors, they need an established channel to find expression. So again, I just want to throw the same part, even as I welcome you to a new year. There is something in your hands that you can do. There is a way to engage yourself productively. Many people don't want to start small. I have bad news. No matter how long you delay starting, when you are ready to start, you will start small. I'm feeling that's a deep word, but it's not, it's shallow. But I'm sure you get the point. No matter how long you postponed and procrastinate and delay starting, when you are ready to start, you will start small. So it's better to start, be productive, make sure your hands are on something you are doing. Do not be caught in a world where you are overwhelmed. And not just that you're overwhelmed, there's really nothing you are doing. You see, what happens is prophecies will come there, but they won't have where to land because there's no established channel of expression. Get your hands productive this year. It doesn't matter how dirty, how menial, whatever it is, just get your hands dirty. It is as you engage, as you plug in, that you begin to rise. And as you keep rising, suddenly opportunity gets created to now fulfill the desires and the dreams you are working on in your heart. You do not want to catch yourself, like I said, sorry, I've emphasized it too much. Let me just repeat it for the last time. You don't want to catch yourself in the point where your hands are not productive. You don't want to. I'm speaking from experience. If you don't die by depression, all right, that's just by the way. So 2023, let's stay productive. Doesn't matter, like I said, how menial, how embarrassing, how whatever. Just engage the market. That's the only way. I don't know of any other. So I just want to welcome you all to the new year, brand new year, and to say that the year is blank. I'm not a prophet, so I don't have any word of the year to give. What I can just say is, let's just be productive. Be productive. Make sure your hands are not idle in 2023. I don't know what you want to do, but just make sure your hands are not idle. If it's that you have something you are doing, but the opportunity is not coming for you to do it, it's a different thing. If it's that you are skillful, you have something as a skill you have. You say, I didn't like this before. You see, if you watch some of these videos, I've said over and over again that some of the things I'm saying, there are things I wouldn't listen to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years ago. But you see, years of failure makes you humble. Years of failure make you calm and willing to listen, because everybody cannot be wrong. If everybody keeps saying the same thing, you cannot kick against the pricks. One somebody I listened to, let me just drop it. The person was trying to emphasize how that money goes with a flow. Money is a tide, it's a flow. You cannot swim against the tide. The example he was giving was that if you go to an environment where everybody is selling shoe, join them to sell the shoe. But what you want to do is to sell cheaper, sell in a cleaner environment, offer better services. But don't go there and start selling bread. It won't work. This thing is a flow. Once you plug into the flow, you will definitely rise, grow, and get better. What you don't want to catch yourself doing is to sit down idly, trying to create something out of it. It doesn't work that way. Painfully, it doesn't work. The order of creation is that God creates something, and every other thing that will be created has to come out from that initial thing that has been created, which is called the principle of reproduction. God doesn't keep producing, creating. No. You just create one prototype, give that prototype the ability to reproduce itself, and just leave it to reproduce itself. That's why they said your success is not success until it has a successor. Success leaves clues. I think one other thing I emphasized in that last video was the fact that we need mentors. I went back and I thought of it deeply again, and I think I'm right. You won't. I didn't deal with it extensively, but then it's not a point that needs to be dealt with extensively. You need somebody to hold your hands and chip in a word or two to guide you, either in your career or whatever, on your own. Sorry. You won't be able to kick against the truth. You will wear yourself out. You will label as a fool, unable to achieve anything. So why I did this video was just to say welcome to a new year. But then what was in my heart to achieve with this video was just to encourage us all to be productive, get your hands busy, get your hands. There is always something within your reach. Some of us don't like it because it's menial. Some of us don't like it because we want to start tush. Destiny isn't started tush. It doesn't start tush. You need to start dirty. You must have a track record. You must have when there was nothing working. You can't, because Pastor Paul mentioned that said the only thing that you start from up is the grave. You start digging from up. Every other thing starts from ground and starts to rise. I'll end with this story. It's about a friend I know. He may stumble upon this video and he may be unhappy with me, but if he does, I will take him out and buy him shawarma and wine. But yes, I was talking to a friend. They finished from the same university, but different departments anyway. And they kept complaining about how that Nigeria is not working, don't know what to do, how this life self, Nigeria is this. And I was telling him, listen, bro, your issue is, I'm seeing from what you are saying that you're a lazy person. You are a lazy person. You see, all this bogus talk you are giving me, you want to do this, you have no starting points for it. And it's because you are lazy. Of course, he wasn't happy, I happen to know where he stays, and I happen to know that in the city where he stays, it is where they get tiles from to distribute to the whole of Nigeria and into construction. So I know that where he stays, that's where if they import tiles or they produce tiles, they first take it to that place and they distribute it to other parts of Nigeria. And I was telling him, to offload tiles, one carton of tiles, 40 by 40, is 15 naira. Agreed. He was talking about this bogus stuff he wants to go into affiliate market. He was making one. Notice how that poverty starts with speaking useless English. English you just can't substantiate. English you cannot get your hands to engage in. He was talking about how he wants to start one program. He made this person to give him money and stuff. And I'm like, you don't need that, bro. You don't need that. That won't give you the attitude to even take what you want to learn seriously. Go to all those people uploading tiles. If you upload one truck per day, let's not even say per day, because sometimes it takes them like 1-2 weeks to finish uploading one. But if you offload one entire truck in company of 1 or 2 Hausa boys, what happens is, I'm sure all of you are going to make like maybe 120,000 naira. If you split that into 3, how much is that? 80,000 or so, whatever. 120 divided by 3, 80k. Now, what happens is, do you know what the course he wants to buy was around 72,000? But you don't want to do. You want somebody to give you the money, and if somebody gives you the money, what's that called in physics? Inertia. That initial willingness to drive yourself will not be there. And like I said, he wasn't happy. He was angry with me. He felt I was. The reason is because you just think me that is talking, I've not done that thing before. As a graduate, everybody doesn't have to go through this route. But listen, everybody has to start small. Starting small will mean different things for everybody, but we all must start small. So, cut a long story short, I was explaining to the guy how that, when I left Lagos some time ago, I was working in Lagos, I wasn't okay with the pay they were giving me. I needed a new environment. I was convinced in my head that decision I had to do. So I came over to ABJ, and of course, when you're coming like that, you have high hopes and dreams in your head, and things will scatter along the way. What do you now do when they scatter? That's how the men are separated from the boys. I'll tell you what I did, which is what I told you. I carried myself, I went to one site to go and carry head pan. Do you understand me? It doesn't reduce from you. You don't have to go through this way. Everybody doesn't have to carry head pan. But I just need you to understand that no matter how long you delay starting, you will start small. And that starting small, all those embarrassment you don't want, all those disgrace you don't want, you will still have to go through it for a while until you grow and rise. I was telling the guy, eventually one thing led to the other. I got one other job, went to go and school. I'm a graduate. It doesn't take away your certificate. It's just that you can't beg. You can't rely on people for your upbringing and not upbringing, for your survival. Eventually one thing led to the other now, and I think with all humility to God Almighty, I don't think I'll ever on this earth be ever able to go to the site and carry a pan. Sorry, I've outgrown it permanently, but it's already in my track record. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? I'm saying while you are productive, don't delay starting because you want to start big. It doesn't work that way. Stay productive in 2023. I wish you all the best. What's the name again? David Inana signing out. Kindly like, share, subscribe to this channel, and don't worry, we'll start seeing the result. The money is coming. Yeah. That's all. I've exhausted my trend of thought. So look forward to the next video. Thank you very much. David Inana signing out. Peace.